These are going to be the best sunflowers this year yet. These two. I don't know what's taken their flower so long. It's hard for me to tell you how big these leaves are without a drone. These are at least 2 feet long. They look more like elephant ears. The plant, maybe the animal too, but these leaves are massive. I can't get to them easily to put anything there for scale. They're behind a lot of other obstacles. Most of these are set up to keep cats, well, a cat, from smashing or sitting on my plants before they have a chance to grow. And anybody who cares, this is Malabar spinach. It's going to be purple and beautiful, and it's going to take over everything. I don't even plant it. A few years back, I put a few seeds, planted it, and now it plants itself everywhere. You can't stop it. So if you like it, that's great. If not, good luck. Malabar spinach in the southeast is, well, it really likes it here. Here's some horseradish. I've been growing it year after year. I don't have the guts to dig it up and actually eat it. Not that we don't like horseradish, but it's like we just buy it at the store. I mean, honestly, gardening is just for fun. It's cheaper to buy things at the store. These are little ones. It's the same variety, same sunflower, but it's the same variety, the giant bamboo, but it's just not doing as well. These are experiments to see what it'll do inside of a 5-gallon bucket. I have these 5-gallon buckets in the ground for both of these. This one's doing terrible. Some of it has to do with the fact that I'm not giving them a lot of fertilizer. I'm just going off of a small amount. Compost, stuff like that, and then the moringa's coming in nicely. See if there's any more down there. No, I don't see any more, but this is 3 trees. So this is an experiment for my bell pepper. And as you can see underneath it, that is all Malabar spinach. The seeds are in all my dirt everywhere. I'd have to use completely fresh dirt, buy it all from the store, if I don't want Malabar spinach to come up as a weed the whole time. I've probably got 12 bell pepper plants. Hopefully I'll get some bell peppers this year. There's a lot of predators out here that love to chew on leaves. Since I'm discussing leaves, I wanted to show you, looks like a shotgun blast to that leaf right there. I don't use pesticides. I don't really use pesticides. I don't think there's a big reason, since I'm not really trying to produce food to eat. When we moved here almost a decade ago, we've been in this property. I started planting tomatoes like I always have. I used to have tons of tomatoes, and you can't grow them here. The worms show up. They show up. You've seen a tomato hornworm. They show up. I don't know, hundreds. I pulled at least 100 off of one plant. I'm not exaggerating. I filled up an entire giant pickle jar from just one plant that I had hornworms on. My bamboo, of course, is doing really well. This is the giant variety. It dies back every year. Another moringa plant coming up. I got on the moringa kick when everybody was saying how valuable it was and useful. But It's interesting that it's one of the only plants that you can get protein from the leaves. You can just eat the leaves and they've got protein in them. It's pretty interesting if we were starving to death, but maybe during that time. Okay, I planted it during that time. I can't discuss it, you know, the time, about 2020. So I planted a bunch of moringa trees just in case. Things looked really scary for some people. So, you know, these are my bamboo. It's going to be 20 feet tall at least, but what I really want is some width. These are supposed to be timber, giant timber bamboo, but they don't get that big here. They'll die back every year. This is the most interesting. I've never seen this before until in fact, only the last couple years of this house. This is all poinsettia. It's a poinsettia plant, and I'm gonna have to cut it back. It's strangling out this climbing rose. But yeah, this stuff is growing everywhere now. It's pretty, and it grows in these nice clumps, but I guess it's gonna have some really nice flowers at some point. But it's interesting if you see the leaf. It looks like it's just painted. Somebody took a paintbrush and just painted each leaf. I think this is an interesting feature. Yes, of course, Lily. She's very interesting. But this is a Texas sage. Some really small sunflowers. And there were some dandelions. A couple of weeds in here, but some weeds block out other weeds, so I don't mind how this one looks. It's only a weed if you don't want it. I'd rather that than a bunch of cockleburs growing in there, so it's kind of nice, but this is an interesting feature, I think. Didn't even plant it. The reason we have sunflowers in there is because I would throw sunflower seeds in there to feed the birds. So the birds would come. If you haven't seen my other video, it's called bird seed fertilizer. Birds come, they eat the bird seed, and of course they leave fertilizer for you. And it's a lot. Again, that was another thing that came out of those special years in 2020. Fertilizer was way too expensive. It was impossible to buy, and bird seed's like a couple bucks for a whole 5-pound bag, so you do the math. But as a consequence, what I didn't know is beautiful sunflowers will appear, and I have bigger ones in the front, and I think you've seen them in my other videos. This is my container garden. These are all bell peppers. Bell peppers, for me, seems like the most economical thing to grow. This is another sunflower, the giant variety. Of course, it's kind of another test. Look how heavy clay soil that is. See, it's all cracked. It's getting water all the time. And it's mixed in with some amendments, but that clay is impossible to use as dirt. My whole yard is pretty much made of this concrete clay. It took me years in my last house to build up my lawn to where I had worms, earthworms. Anyways, there's some more, and here's some more, a bunch of them. I don't usually let them be this crowded, but I don't feel like digging any of them up yet. See what happens. And by the way, this is a non-approved site. If you have a wife, she probably won't like all the clutter. This looks like clutter because it's all experiments. This is a Lazarus blue agave, because there was nothing in there. He was dead for 2 years. I'd lost track, forgotten about it. And then 1 year, or not 1 year, this year, it just showed up from a tiny piece of root, I'm guessing. These are birdberry. See that? More Malabar spinach. It's everywhere. You can't shake a stick around here without it. It's beautiful, but it is crazy. And I don't like to eat. It's edible. I didn't mention that in the other video, but I mean in the other part of this video, but I don't like it. It's kind of a, they call it mucilaginous. I call it slimy. This bell pepper is doing really well. This is a couple of fun experiments because I'm lazy and I don't want to water them all the time. So I put a solar pump and a water reservoir below it. And as you can see, it's constantly getting fresh water, which then drains back into the pump. I mean the bottom of the container, then back out, then pumps around, all for free. It waters it all day long, and as long as I keep, I don't know, there's like 10 gallons or more in there, it doesn't dry out. This is another one. I just thought it would be fun. I let the bucket fill up and then it fills up the plant. Problem is the dirt is clay again. I wanted to see how much I could get away with in clay, because you know, it has, clay is supposed to have a lot of minerals and stuff, but I think a little clay goes a long way. So you can see how pitiful this plant is. I put a bunch of vermiculite in there underneath him to, you know, get some air. If you don't get air to the roots, a lot of times when you're in school, I don't know if everybody doesn't really know this, but when I was in school, they taught me, you know, that plants breathe in carbon dioxide and they breathe out oxygen. And so they led you to believe in school, when I was in school a long time ago, that they just need CO. Well, it turns out that that's not true. If you starve their roots need oxygen. If you starve their roots of oxygen, and that's what I'm talking about this, because compacted clay soil makes it impossible for a plant to breathe. It holds water and it suffocates the roots. So if there's no way for oxygen to get to the roots, your plants are dead. I used to grow in hydroponics, and that's where you learn that you can, as long as you oxygenate the roots, you can grow a plant in a medium with no soil, no nothing. I can just grow them in this bucket of water if I wanted. It wouldn't hold itself up, but I could do it. As long as you keep the water oxygenated, which, by the way, anytime water's flowing and moving, like I'm doing here, this water's getting oxygenated. Not that it needs it. At night, this will all drain. It'll siphon back into the reservoir. It's just for fun and science. Like I said, I mean, it's still cheap. You can't beat store prices if you really want stuff. So back on bell peppers. Bell peppers are $1 a piece at the store. Okay. So it actually pays a little bit to grow bell peppers for myself. We eat them. I can put them in just about everything. They have vitamin C. And like I said, they're $1 a piece at the store. Here I can grow lots of them for free. But pretty much every other vegetable, I haven't seen a lot of them that I can grow here or make it worthwhile. The store's still better. Also, I don't think I noted or said to anybody, these are grow boxes. That's the original version. You can see it from here. I did mention that this whole area is tolerated. But it's not just me who puts stuff here. I mean, look at all the toys. My wife buys them tons of toys, and I'll drag them outside, and I end up picking them up and putting them in a pile. And from time to time, they'll go in here, look at that banana. That guy goes in the house, comes back out. So this is their toy box too. So it's not just me who's cluttering up. The pups are doing it too. So if you're listening, and I know you are, yeah, take that. Anyway, grow boxes. So there was the original version, kind of pricey, and then this was a knockoff version, and they came in all these nice neon colors. But as you can see, the sun, they're not really UV stabilized as well. So look at that. used to be a really nice lime green, and it's faded. These are what's in here too. These are the knockoffs. They were a lot cheaper, but they're also a lot smaller in volume. Anyway, so grow boxes are a nifty way to grow your plants if you don't want to water them every day. But if you live in really hot areas like I do, they're going to dry out in 2 days if you don't water them every 2 days, even with the water reservoir. That's why I came up with this, because this, I can go a week without watering them because it holds so much more water. I've been working with a lot of different ideas, and one day, if I keep this channel going and keep things going, I'll show you an Archimedes pump that I'm working on for pumping up in sludge. And I used to have aquaponic type thing set up, and then my wife paid a weed killer guy to come out, and well, it killed my entire little pond of fish. So kind of ended that, and then we moved, so haven't really done it again.